Hi folks, welcome back to MCM Outdoors. Thanks for clicking on this latest video. And I'm out on another local walk. There probably won't be very many left because soon we'll be back in the mountains, but I've come to Meresands Wood, which is just down the road from me, which is a 42 hectare area of woodland managed by the Wildlife Trust. And it's really nice, it's lovely, a couple of miles, about 2 miles circuit that I'm going to be doing. And we might see some nice wildlife, nice birds, plant life, and it's nice to come throughout the year, and as the seasons change, see how the scenery and the habitat and the animals and the wildlife change as well as the year progresses. So it's nice, it's a lovely day. It's very windy, we've had a lot of wind over the last few days, and I will also announce the winner of the through-night TC12 torch. The draw finished on Thursday just gone, and yeah, so it's nice. I'm going to put the wellies on. Had a lot of rain over the last few days, it's going to be very muddy underfoot. It's a lovely day and we're back in the great outdoors, and that's all that matters. So yeah, it's a really blustery day, nice and fresh, bit of fresh air. It's good to be out back in the wellies, like I say. These are being invaluable. Yeah, I think they're only a tenner. Little Tesco specials, 10 quid. And they've done the job. Very windy. I absolutely love that noise. What a lovely sound. So it's mixed woodland. There's it's deciduous, and you've got pine, mixture of pine as well. Some really old Scots pines. See right at the top of the canopy there. And these provide a massive wide range in habitat for various different birds. You get woodpeckers, owls. You can hear some jackdaw in the background there. And it's just very rich in bird life, plant life. It's a wonderful place to come for a walk. You can see where people have carved their names into these trees as well. Obviously, they're not that tall. And it gives you an idea of when that was done. And as the tree's grown, it's taken that permanent scar with it. Right up there's another one, Paul, somewhere right up there. And people just don't think, do they? There's enough to last you a lifetime there, isn't there? And if you look at the width of some of these trunks, gives you an idea of how old these trees are and how long they've been here. It's nice, isn't it? Just illuminated with the sun off the fields, rolling in across the farmland, and then casting that light on the forest. There's lots of nice benches and stuff just to come and sit. I like to sit here and you turn you around. That's the view. How nice is that? Just looking out across the farmland. Gather your thoughts. If you've got any problems, just come here, sit and think. Give it 20 minutes and you're back on your way. Solution. But it's lovely, very, very nice. This is transformational, this woodland. You go and walk around it, no matter what stresses and worries you've got. By the time you finish your circuit, you feel great. Trust me, it does actually work. It's nice. But anyway, let's carry on. Preparing for the first funny look, talking to myself. You've got all these drainage ditches which run down the side of the fields. Been wet, quite wet over the last few days. So It's just taking all the water out and away from the farmers' fields. And now you get this really interesting section of the pines. You can see them leaning into the wind, the prevailing wind from the west. All the westerlies are hitting the forest. That's why all the trees are leaning that way. Now I like this section the best because, I don't know, I just like the visuals of it. I absolutely love that, especially with all this nice dappled light around. It's just lovely, isn't it? It's really nice. The most tranquil, or one of the most tranquil walks. Just being in our great outdoors. So this is where the walk takes on a different feel. The wind, gone. Broken by the trees on the western edge. Nice and quiet. Just the sounds of the pines creaking. Now, I know a few people think the same, but there's something magical about pine forests. The noise the wind makes, whistling through the pine needles. It's a bit like water, or the sound of waves as they break on like a pebble beach. That's what it reminds me of, and it's a very relaxing sound. Now, if anyone's ever done hammock camping in a pine forest, this is your audio track on your camp, or when you're drifting off to sleep, swinging, swaying slightly in the breeze, and all you can hear is this. It's really relaxing, and that's why the outdoors helps. Mindful relaxation, you know, it's good for your senses, heightens awareness of your senses, and just relaxes you away from the hustle and bustle of life. You come and just listen to this, sit for a bit, bring a book, a flask. There's a buzzard over the canopy. You know, sit for a bit, watch as the light changes through the forest. You know, it's like a live background, isn't it, on your computer? That's constantly changing, this dappled light all the time with this lovely audio backdrop. Magical. I mean, and it's just what it's all about, isn't it? The Japanese do something called forest bathing, and they will go and, you know, they really believe in the benefits of the trees give off, you know, good feelings. And I wouldn't go as far as that. I think it's just the environment personally, but, you know, I'm not knocking it, and I'll well be up for a session of Japanese forest bathing. Or UK, let's champion our home soil. It's great, just, it's sort of, when the canopy's so high and it's so open, it's like the feeling of being in a big cathedral. You know, you're looking up in awe, isn't it? It's a little bit awe-inspiring. I think so, anyway. Anyway, I'd like to announce the winner of the Through Night TC12 Tactical Torch. Thank you very much for everyone who's taken part. There will be more giveaways, so if you haven't won on this occasion, don't worry, they will be hidden, so you've got to watch all the videos all the way through. I will never announce that I'm doing a giveaway in the title. I don't think it's right. So Kath Platt, well done Kath, I just use a random comment picker. And everyone that entered, Kath, you've been lucky on this occasion. So if you email me at mcmoutdoorshow@yahoo.co.uk, email address is in the about section of the YouTube channel as well. So send me an email, Kath, get in touch, and I will get that shipped off to you and posted off to you. I hope you get some good use out of it. Well done. And everyone else, keep watching, because there will be more to come. Now the light's amazing. Look at the contrast. Just it's a photographer's dream in here. I know that Phil, R6 Phil, outdoor enthusiast, shout out Phil. I know you've been round here, mate, and you like it, but it's lovely. You know, you take a long lens here, you get some cracking bird shots. I'd love to camp here, but clearly it's private woodland, and I don't think that, well, I know they wouldn't give me permission to do it, so it's not on the agenda, sadly. We've got a couple of sort of waters, lakes dotted throughout it. You can just see one there in the distance through the trees, and they have wildlife hides where you can watch the waterfowl through the hides, and that's nice as well. You know, just bring a flask of soup, cup of soup, your binoculars, and just sit in the hide nice and warm, looking out, notebook, noting down different sightings, and it's a lovely way to spend a few hours. Let's do a bit more exploring. I mean, days gone by, you'd be forgiven for mistaking that building straight out of the plains of Africa, the Masai Mara. That's what it looks like, doesn't it? But it's fallen into disrepair, rotted, and there's warnings to stay out. But that was one of the raised hides, a little bit of a staircase in the centre column. You could look out. Just making sure that's not a real grey heron on top of the old wind vane. But it's not. Be a very thin one if it was. But yeah, there's bird boxes dotted around, and you see everything. There's a couple just behind me with the long lenses out. Spotted something that I haven't because I'm busy talking to the camera. But yeah, there's all sorts. Green woodpeckers, lesser spotted woodpeckers. I'd love to see a long-eared owl. I don't know if they're here. I think they're like notoriously difficult to spot. They're very quiet, very sort of, what's the word? Inconspicuous. That's not the word, I can't think of it. Not shy. Oh, bloody hell, it'll come to me. This always makes me laugh. Narrow path. It's not remotely narrow. It's about 3 meters wide. Narrow. Oh dear. But it's a great place for little ones. Lots of exploring. Tell them stories about fairies. Teach them about the wildlife. You know, there's little fairy doors that people put here. And they often have activities for little children. Like sort of like treasure hunts and kind of things like that. Hidden around trees. So it's nice to bring the little ones. It's a cracking day out, really is, with a picnic as well. I mean, it's so funny. Each of their own, but some people, when you pass them, because of the old CV situation, it's like they're throwing themselves into barbed wire as though you're some kind of leper. Well, it's absolutely hilarious. I mean, some people are just normal, saying hello, and I'm not criticising them. I'm just making an observation. It's some of the reactions. You know, it's like it's like the bull run in Pamplona. People just throwing themselves into shop windows and, oh my God, there's a human. So some of the different trees, birch and the silver birch as well. People know this if you're into your bushcrafting, but this peels away, especially on silver birch. There's little bits there. Where it peels away, you can scrape it all up with a knife, and it'll take a spark. Good tinder. A good place to look is bits that have fell, for example in the undergrowth. Just go and find bits. There's a whole birch tree there if you wanted to. Go and collect some, just put it in a sandwich bag and store it up. For tinder, on some of your bushcraft tips, your bushcraft trips. Look at this inquisitive robin, 2 of them. Just on the end there. 2 of them having a nose what we're doing. And they're really territorial robins. And that's obviously, well, I presume it's a male and female, otherwise they'd be having a go at each other. But yeah, I'll try and zoom in on the footage. Just having a good nosy at what we're doing. I often find that it's like the gardener's companion. When you're out doing the garden, digging in the soil, you'll often have a robin sat nearby waiting for worms, and they'll return to you. Really friendly and used to being around humans. Nice. So some of the trunks, when they fall, they end up like twisted and contorted into all these weird shapes. Dinosaurs, sea serpents, having a battle. That one's won, it's the loser. So I've not seen that many bulbs up, to be honest. And there's usually always something to tell you about. Spotted out the corner of my eye, this birch polypore. And what you can do is you can take one of them, cut it in half, and use it to strop your knife. It's got sort of it's like leather-like consistency inside when you slice through it. You can use it as a strop for your blade, just to sharpen it up, bring the edge back. Birch, polypores, fairies, ladders. But yeah, we're about halfway round now. That noise, black-headed gulls. There it is, unmistakable. 2 black-headed gulls. And they're quite common on farmlands, picking up bits above the farmers' fields, eating worms and grubs and stuff like that. And so is often the case on these walks. I often find, well, I think that it takes on a different feel when you get to the different sections of the walk. This is predominantly birch. We leave the pines over at the western side of the wood. Maybe that's because they're taking the brunt of the winds, and that tree species has evolved to deal with that type of weather. Then when you get to the sheltered side of the woods, it gives other species a chance to establish themselves. I think I possibly answered my own question there, but if anyone knows the real answer, that's probably it. You know, it's pretty much birch, hawthorn, oak this side, and on the other side of the wood where we've just been, it's the mighty pines, you know, standing up to the prevailing winds. I really like the dappled light that you get through the trees. It's really nice and relaxing. You always know when you buy pines because you get that unmistakable sound again, the wind through the needles. And on this one, when you get to the halfway point, toilets stop, and there's a bit of a visitor centre you can join, and there's lots of, well, last time I went in, I'm not going to go into that, I think it's shut because of COVID. There's nice photographs by local artists, things like that. It's nice. Patch of miniature daffodils, tete-a-tete. One of those little varieties. Yeah. Right, I think I'm going to wrap this one up here. Thank you very much for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, give it a quick thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. If you leave me a comment, I'll try and get back to every single one. I hope you've enjoyed this bit of mindfulness and diversion from the madness of everyday life. And yeah, I've enjoyed taking you along on my little trip to Mearsands Wood. If you are on Instagram, check out MCM Outdoors. And if you follow me on there, I'll follow you back. And if you're not a subscriber to MCM, consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell and staying tuned for future videos. Go and enjoy your outdoor places, wherever they may be. Even if it's just a bit of a park around the corner, it still counts to being out there, having a bit of mindfulness and enjoying the great outdoors. I will see you on the next video, and for now, take care.